Here's article of the week number 5. Would you move to Mars? So here's the introduction. And as I read this introduction, think about these annotating symbols over here on the left. They are the ones we've used before to show importance or confusions or relating to the text or surprise with the text or agreeing or disagreeing. And you drag them next to it. The sentence starters are not put here this time. You have to click here. Here's for the big view, you click this, but if you I'm just going to show you a preview. These sentence starters go with these, and that's where you're going to type in this box. So here I go. I'm going to read this first introduction to it. Would you move to Mars? Two friends face off on the debate. You decide who wins. For lucky or unlucky, people could be going to Mars by the year 2026. The mission, which is being organized by a company called Mars One, is to set up a permanent human colony. These brave pioneers will grow their own food, research, explore, and report back to Earth regularly. Unfortunately, there is a catch. It's a one-way trip. The colonists will never return to Earth, ever. So if you got shock here, you would drag it here. You'd click on that annotating button, and you get a sentence starter, and you'd put your sentence starter here. There's 2 boxes if you'd like extra credit. You will not just drag a symbol like some of you were doing into the box. That is not the answer. These are to go next to the text. Okay, let's see one of the arguments. This is Alex, and she's writing her friend Mark, and she says, yes, I would go to Mars. Now we'll start off with her title, and here's possibly her big idea. So when we read, or after we read, we're going to annotate with these symbols. Here's the big idea. Here are reasons like arrows which attempt to hit the target. These are reasons which support that big idea. We're going to acknowledge, like the writer does, we're going to find where she admits there's something that's against me, it's true, but then she is going to use the arrow of rebuttal to refute that arrow pointing back to the target, that's the big idea, and supporting that big idea. So here we go. Hi, Mark, I'm writing to you. So first of all, I would be famous. Going to Mars is the opportunity of a lifetime. If you thought that was a big idea, because it is blue and interpretation, it would go there. There's also identified one here. You get to choose between the two. So, hi Mark, I'm writing to you in the middle of the night because I'm way too excited to sleep. I've just made a huge decision. The group called Mars One is starting the first human settlement on Mars, and Mark, I've decided to go, or at least I've decided to apply the day I turn 18. Can you even imagine what an amazing adventure it would be? I would get to train here on Earth with an elite group of astronauts. I would get to fly through space at lightning speeds. I would get to live in a landscape so wondrous it would be like stepping into my favorite sci-fi movie. And at night, when I stare up at the sky, one of those bright dots would be Earth. But this is about something a lot bigger than having an adventure. I don't mean to sound full of myself, but this is a chance to be part of history. So if you think there's her big idea, there's her claim, she gets to be part of history, that's why she wants to go, you would drag that over there. Okay. Now, I'd be taking a place alongside the great explorers who set out across the Atlantic Ocean in search of new lands, you know? Of course, we are going to have to move to Mars sooner or later, or to some other planet at least. The famous scientist Stephen Hawking says that if we want our species to survive, we need to colonize other planets because we're going to run out of space and resources here on Earth. In the meantime, by moving to Mars, I'd be helping to improve the quality of life on Earth. According to Mars One, scientists and engineers are going to have to do a lot of work to pull this mission off, and that work will lead to innovation. Now, these are clickable links. You can get definitions if you click on them. Um, all right. So it will lead to innovation in all sorts of areas like recycling, solar energy, food production, and medicine. So there's another reason why it's a good idea. Now, sounds like a counter argument. She's going to argue against herself for a second. There's something about the Mars mission I haven't mentioned, and I admit might be kind of hard to accept. The mission is one way. You go to Mars, you never come back. Apparently, bringing people home would make the whole thing way too complicated and expensive. And yeah, that's pretty crazy to think about. But, sounds like her rebuttal, but it will be possible to communicate with friends on Earth through video, voice, or text messages. So it's not like I'd be completely cut off. Plus, we'd still get to watch movies, TV shows, and sports. I'd miss you, my family, and all my other friends too, but I've thought about this a lot. I can't wait to hear what you think. I hope you're as excited as I am. So as we read this, there's some clear places we could, let's say we thought this was the big idea. Going to Mars is the opportunity of a lifetime. There's all kinds of areas that give reasons why. She says it's like a movie. So I'm going to put that there. It'd be like an adventure, lightning speed, and it'd be like her favorite sci-fi. Or if you like this reason here, Stephen Hawking says we got to move anyway. And then also, it's going to lead to some innovations that'll help all humanity when we go, because they're going to prepare for this trip and create new things. Now, she admits excuse me, there is something about Mars that she hasn't said, and it's that you never get to come back, and it's crazy to think about that. So that is her counter argument. I keep losing one letter. I'm going to grab all of that and I'm going to paint it red because that's the counter argument that goes against the writer's big idea. Now, how do you beat a counter argument? Why would you do it? Because when you beat it, it makes like you really are convincing your reader that you know more. So, yeah, I never get to come back, but it will be possible to communicate with friends on Earth. So, we're going to underline this as the rebuttal does. And I can send text messages and I can watch movies like on Earth and watch sports. We're going to turn those letters red. We're going to underline. That's what we do with rebuttal. And then we're going to drag our arrow over here. That arrow is our arrow of rebuttal. It defeats that counter argument and sends that arrow flying all the way here because, yeah, going to Mars is a chance of a lifetime and nothing's going to stop me. So that arrow hit the mark. And so did these other supports. They hit the mark too of the big idea. So that's how you analyze an argument, a text that's an argument. Okay? All right. So thank you. I'm going to put that in the back and I'm going to bring that back over here to show where my rebuttal was. Boom.